Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ana Karen, and my team and I are going to talk about the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Hi, my name is Irving, and I will tag background.
Hi, my name is Hanian, and I'm going to talk about the characteristics.
Hi, my name is Gustavo, and I speak composition.
My name is Ana Karen, and I'm going to talk to you about the adverse reaction.
My name is Romina, and I'm going to talk about shelf life and drug product description.
Background. COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca, also known as ACT 2020 or Shadows 1S, was developed by the Oxford University, United Kingdom, AstraZeneca, and is recombination deficient chain-based and the virus vector expressing the full length SARS-CoV-2 and spike glycoprotein gene. Recommended dose, 2 doses administered intramuscularly 0.5 milliliters each, separated by an interval of 8 to 20 weeks. And recommended age, the vaccine is recommended for every over the age of 18 up to those over the age of 65. Next page, please. Next page, please. The vaccine is not recommended for children under 18 years of age, subject of result of next studies.
The COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca is a monovalent vaccine composed of a single recombinant replication deficient chimpanzee vector. That this vector is encoding the spike protein of SARS-CoV-2. The SARS-CoV-2 spike antigen is in the vaccine is spread in the trimeric perfusion confirmation. That coding sequence has not been modified in order to stabilize the spread the spike protein in the perfusion confirmation. Talking about the spike protein, this protein is the protein that binds to the AT2 receptor in human cells, and is the first recognized mechanism for the virus to enter and replicate in the cells. Next, please. Talking about virus are not encapsulated icosahedral particles and contain the single copy of the double-strand DNA genome that express cassette for the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein tubes to the tissue plasminogen activator TPA0 sequence use a modified human cytomegalovirus promoter and bovine growth hormone polyadenylation sequence.
And composition, one dose, 0.5 milliliters contain Shadows 1S recombinant microparticles. The vaccine is produced in genetically modified human embryonic kidney, 293 cells. Next, please. In addition to Shadows recombinant, this product also contains the excipients of half-life hydrochloride monohydrate, magnesium chloride hexahydrate, polysorbate 80, ethanol sucrose, sodium chloride, lithium erythrate dehydrate, and water for injection. none of the excipients are of animal, human, or origin. The excipients are well established for pharmaceutical products. The difference this vaccine is that is not up the active virus like other vaccines. For example, pneumococcal and the COVID-19 are based on what you just made it seems like based on conventional antivirus drugs and antigens that have already interaction and that virus.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you about the adverse reactions. Well, the majority of the adverse reactions with people who were vaccinated with the AstraZeneca vaccine were mild to moderate in severity, and they were usually resolved after a few days after the vaccination. In comparison to the first dose, well, adverse reactions reported after the second dose were actually milder and less frequent. Also, another factor to consider is that reactogenicity was actually generally milder and less frequent in older adults with 65 years or older in comparison to younger adults between the ages of 18 and 64 years old. Okay, so now we have here the most common symptoms that people presented after the vaccination. Between those most common symptoms, we have that they affected more than 10% of 1 in 10 people, and these include headache, nausea, myalgia, arthralgia, injection site tenderness, injection site pain, injection site warmth, fatigue, malaise, pyrexia, and chills. Another type of symptoms that were not that common like the ones I mentioned, but they were also presented, well, they affected more than 1% but less than 10% of 1 in 10 people, and these include injection site swelling and injection site erythema.
Now I will transfer my knowledge about the shelf life and drug product description of the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine. The topic of vaccination has been vastly studied across the world, affirming that high rates of vaccination coverage are important in preventing infectious diseases and contributing to a decline in mortality. One of the most important characteristics of immunity is that it not only protects those who receive vaccination, but helps to protect individuals who are not vaccinated for whatever reason. Vaccination is a simple, safe, and effective way of protecting people against harmful diseases. Vaccines reduce risks of getting diseases by working with our body's natural defenses to build a protection. When we get a vaccine, our immune system responds to it. It recognizes invaded germs, such as the virus or bacteria, produces antibodies, proteins produced naturally by the immune system to fight the disease, remembers the disease and how to fight it. Now, let's talk about the shelf life. Shelf life, chemical and physical immune stability have been demonstrated for the time of vial opening, the first needle puncture, to administration for no more than 48 hours in a refrigerator. Within this time period, the product may be kept and used at temperatures of up to 30 degrees Celsius for a single period up to 6 hours. After the first time period, the product must be discarded. Do not return it to the refrigerator. The storage. Vials should be kept upright in their box. Vials should be kept away from direct sunlight to prevent prolonged light exposure. AstraZeneca COVID Shield vaccine must not be frozen. If vaccine is being repacked for onward distribution, packing should be completed as close to the refrigerator as possible to reduce time vaccine. Cumulative storage time of an opened vial at room temperature must not exceed 6 hours. Next one, please. Lastly, there's the drug product description. The product is a colorless to slightly opalescent solution provided in a multi-dose vial. There will be different presentation available in different regions. The drug product is multi-dose vial with a stopper. That means elastomeric with aluminum overseal. That's all. Thank you for your presentation.